The firstborn son carries a weight he never asked for. He was the first to be told to set an example, the first to be given responsibilities, disguised as maturity. He grew up knowing that mistakes weren't an option, that weakness wasn't allowed. He learned to be dependable before he ever learned to depend on anyone. He carries that into silently exhausted, constantly overextending. He works harder, takes on more because slowing down feels selfish. He doesn't know how to ask for help because no one ever showed him how. He spent his whole life taking care of others, but deep down he wonders, who takes care of him? The firstborn son doesn't rest because he was never taught. He was allowed to, but he is the truth. He is more than what he provides. He is more than the expectation placed on, and he deserves to live for himself, not just the people who needed him to be strong. The middle child learned it early on, that being seen wasn't guaranteed. Not the firstborn who carried the expectations, not the youngest who was handled with care. They existed somewhere in between, never too much, never too little, just enough to blend in. They learned to be independent, to rely on themselves, to speak only when necessary, not because they had nothing to say, but because they weren't sure anyone was really listening. Over time, they became the peacekeeper, the one who made themselves small to keep things running smoothly, the one who watched, observed, and understood everyone but felt misunderstood themselves. Now as an adult they struggle with the feeling of being implacable. They hesitate to ask for help because they spent a lifetime figuring things out alone. They pour into others, but deep down, they wonder who will notice when they need something to. But here's the truth. The made child was never invisible, they just learned to fade into the background. And healing begins when they realize they were never meant to be quiet to be loved. Their voice matters, their needs matter, they matter. The youngest child is often the strongest. People assume they have everything they need, that they're carefree, sick, spoiled, that life has always been easier for them, but they forget the youngest carries a quiet weight too, one that's rarely acknowledged. They're expected to go with the flow, to adjust, to take what's left without complaint. Their struggles are dismissed, their feelings overlooked, their voice often unheard. But the youngest children feel deeply. They see the cracks in the family no one else wants to acknowledge. They learn to read the room, to soften conflicts, to bear unspoken burdens. They watch everyone leave one by one, and then the house gets quiet. They're the ones who stay behind, holding it all together. So to the youngest, thank you for your patience, for your strength, for the love you give even when it goes unnoticed. You are not just the youngest, you are the glue, the quiet backbone, the keeper memories, and no matter how unseen you may feel, your role is irreplaceable. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And if you enjoyed this one, drop a like and leave a comment below.